we go. Okay, so everyone is in, and all of our peeps and so many light workers are here. They're so pleased that we are doing this. And we've invoked and invited Isis and Hathor. Isis represents infinite possibilities of creation, and Hathor represents divine manifestation and co-creation of the divine purpose. All right, so we're going to start with a prayer of protection because we've already set up a field of protection and our sacred vessel. But we love using this book, Wisdom Codes by Greg Braden. And what this does, those of you who just came in, could you please mute yourselves? Thank you. Spirit wants us to pray for protection, the Lord's Prayer. And this code addresses the need for
Did you hear what Mission said? They spent the night in the pyramid.
Richard and Kate, would you please mute yourselves? Thank you. This code addresses the need for personal protection on both a physical and spiritual level. And that's where we're going to be working not only during this session, but if you decide to do this post-session, you're going to be doing things on both levels, the inner realms and the outer realms. Okay. So join me. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. And so it is. Nice. Can feel the protection coming in. The other thing we're going to try and do today, our best to keep it simple in spirit, to kiss it. Because what we're doing today during this session is basically going to help us free ourselves from our self-imposed human lack and limitation programs, limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments, ancestral stuff, societal programming. All of that we're going to clear as much as our group has in common that we are ready to have cleared today. So keep that in mind throughout this whole session and beyond. What you're going to be doing is freeing yourself from lack and limitation. So now, Spirit is blessing us with 3 incredible energies. The first one is the 12-12 portal. It happened on December 12th, even though this is the 15th. Don't worry about it because this energy is going to be with us through the 21st up into the winter solstice and possibly even beyond that date through the end of the year. Also, we have with the portal, the 12-12 portal, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. And that's very powerful. I will come back to that in just a moment. Going back to the 12-12 portal, this portal is about a powerful consciousness awakening. It is a gateway that helps us amp up our divine energy. It's going to make it easier for us to tap into it and express it individually and collectively. It represents not only the expanded awareness, but a higher level of wisdom that we can tap into. It's providing us the opportunity to embody and master Christ consciousness, which is a greater love for ourselves, for others, our beautiful earth, a greater awareness of our oneness. How many of us go, oh yeah, we believe in oneness, but when we're making our everyday choices, how many of us think about how the decision we make is going to affect others? Some of us are really good at that, some of us are not, and anything in between. but raising your level of awareness to that. Like when I get my big one is when I'm driving and I lose my patience with people. I have to, it's like, wait a minute, I make those same mistakes that I just got upset with them about. We're all one. Put it down, let it go, send love. Also, a greater level of awareness in the understanding of Christ consciousness, which basically is having a greater love for ourselves. Excuse me. Yes, I told you that already. Sorry. And having a greater awareness of our connection with the divine. We are the light. And we want to remember to tap into it, bring it into ourselves so we can express it in our everyday lives. And this 1212 portal is going to make that easier. There's also a tremendous influx of divine light that has been and is continuing to occur to support the 1212 portal and the new moon energy. I thought this was so cool when I found this out. This influx is offering us the opportunity to get in alignment with the energy of Christ consciousness and in alignment with our life purpose. So even though many of us have been working on getting into alignment with those things already, it's like the universe coming in and saying, okay, here you go. Let's help you be easier for you to do. What a blessing. What a blessing. I just love this. And as many of you know, is when we are in alignment in our conscious and subconscious minds, it's so much easier to embody and express and create that which we are in alignment with. The 1212 portal is also an opportunity to travel inward and connect with the divine within ourselves. Because we all have that spark, that candle flame of the God source energy, of the God light, whatever you want to call it, it's in us. And we're going to be able to travel in, if we choose to, and connect with it on a deeper level so that we can create a stronger and more vibrant connection with our own divinity. To remember who we are and why we incarnated at this time, and remember what we came here to learn and do and heal and express. And lastly, to remember that we are powerful co-creators with this divine, that we are responsible for the creation of our inner and outer lives. No more blaming other people. No more victim mindset. It's like we are so powerful. We have to remember that we are the co-creators. And if we're not happy with something out here or in here, we have the power to shift that. Connecting with our divine lights, asking for the help and guidance, allowing that to come in and express to us. No more blaming. No more victim mentality. Gosh, what freedom, right? What freedom. Wow. And then bonus, the new moon in Sagittarius. Oh my God, I love this. The new moon in Sag brings with it the energies of joy and optimism and possibilities. So guess what? Now is the time for us to dream our biggest dreams, because Sagittarius in the new moon is more energy the universe is blessing us with to make it easier to dream our biggest dreams and create them and enjoy them. It's, I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase, the universe is conspiring to help us. Sure enough, this new moon in Sag, along with the 1212 portal and the other influx of energy, all of this help is conspiring to help us be our greatest selves and to create our greatest lives. If you want heaven on earth, you can create it. No more thinking and being small if you don't want to be. Think big. Allow yourself to think limitless thoughts. So when you're writing down your dreams for this upcoming year, the new moon in Sag is going, hey, be limitless, be limitless. What a blessing. So now today, me and my peeps and Isis and Hathor and the Holy Spirit, we are going to be clearing the blocks that we all have in common that are keeping us from the freedom that we desire, from the joy and the fun of being a co-creator, a powerful co-creator with the divine. Okay. So as I was preparing for this, Spirit said the most common blocks that we have, and I'm sure there will be more, but the most common blocks our group has is we all have blocks to greater awareness to our oneness with ourselves, with others, and greater awareness of our connection with the divine. We all have blocks to that. We also have blocks. Actually, I'm going to stay right there and I'm going to start clearing those blocks. We have blocks to consistent meditation and prayer that we're clearing. We've got frustration, so we want to turn that off. And self-forgiveness, we want to clear and we want to turn that on. There's a lot of guilt coming through. It is guilt. Many of us have turned our back on our God selves in previous incarnations. So there's guilt for having done that. So how many programs? 21 digits of programs. Let's go in and capture that guilt and get rid of it and replace it with the opposite energy from God's highest dictionary. It's also carrying with us despair and self-destruction. So let's clear, remove, and replace those energies. We're carrying some vows. Vows of believing that we're not good enough. Let's revoke, eliminate, and replace those. Vows of holding ourselves in subservience. Let's revoke, eliminate, and replace. Those would keep us from dreaming our wildest dreams. Okay, now we're going to go on to the second level of blocks, which is blocks to remembering who we are, that we are reflections of the divine source energy. You want to say, I'm a child of God. If you want to say that I'm a reflection of all that is, there's many different phrases we could use for that. Pick the one you like and remember that that's who you are. It's a divine birthright we all have, and we've just forgotten, or we have judged ourselves as not worthy of being that. All right, now we're going to go to blocks to remembering what we came here to do, our life purpose. We're going to apply spiritual healing energy and some other energy into some specific portals of the body, or all of your bodies, I should say. And we've got blocks to freeing ourselves from our lack and limitation programs. It's almost like in our humanity, we want to be so attached to humans doing instead of humans being that we like the lack and limitation programs and all of the different types of emotional and mental and physical addictions that come with that. So we're going to clear those as much as we can. We apply some more energy, healing energy. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so right now, there are 3 specific healing patterns that spirit wants to come in and apply. Ooh, I can feel them. They're good. They're in the back. Yeah. In the back of the pattern of the book, those are all the yummy healing patterns. The first one is the scarab beetle. The scarab beetle, it's a wonderful symbol to use for increasing faith and life energy. So we're going to have that applied 21 times a day for 21 days in a row. Oh my gosh, this body vessel is feeling that energy. It's great. All righty. And then we've got the hummingbird. The hummingbird is a symbol to help establish and increase the expression of joy in our lives. And we are going to apply that 19 times a day for 19 days in a row. And then we have the dragon. The dragon is a symbol to increase spiritual awareness and comprehension. Well, hello, 12-12 portal and influx of energy and new moon in Sag. That's what it's partly all about. We're going to apply that 21 times a day for 21 days in a row. And some more healing energy. Good. This is perfect, you guys, because some of you said, can we have this just be an hour long? So we asked Spirit for that. And they're reminding me, my peeps are reminding me, it's like, remember last night we had you go in and do a lot of clearing on the group already? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Are there any more common blocks to clear? Not right now. So where we're going to go next, we're going to go into the conscious mind actions that Spirit is suggesting that we take. We have free will choice, so it's up to us whether or not we want to do them. You can do all 7 or just a few. It's up to you. Just a moment. Yes. And remember, the reason why we have conscious mind actions is because we're predominantly working in the subconscious mind to do the clearing and the healing. And when conscious mind actions are suggested, it's like creating a healing loop and closing that loop. So you're working on both levels of your being, in the conscious and the subconscious. Okay, so what's really important, the first thing too, is ground yourself each day. I'm thinking about creating and videoing and putting on my YouTube channel a grounding meditation. If you would like me to do that, go ahead and send me a note in chat, because if enough people request that, I will create with Spirit a grounding meditation that will be maybe 5 minutes, that 3 to 5 minutes that you can do every day. Now, why do we want to ground? Because when we have this huge influx of the light and the portal and the new moon, we're working up in these areas. A lot of energy coming in from above. And we need to keep these body vessels very clear and very grounded and attached to the earth. That's going to also help us be able to withstand all of this energy coming in. If you've been feeling tired lately and wondering why, um, that's part of why. I speak with a lot of other facilitators and clients. I mean, I've had clients call me and say, I want a session because I'm so exhausted. I don't understand. It's like, no, you don't need a session. You just need to rest. If you want to take naps in the afternoon, even though you're going, why do I feel like I want to take a nap? I've never felt that before. You're not getting old. It's just all of the influx of light that's coming in to help us right now. It's really requiring a lot from these physical body vessels that we're in. Then the next thing we will suggest is a prayer of protection. And we're going to recommend Psalm 91. We're going to go back into the Greg Braden book, The Wisdom Codes. Love this. Ancient words to rewire our brains and heal our hearts. Psalm 91. Is that correct? Yep. That's the one that we opened with. So let me just put this into chat for everybody real quick. Oh, we didn't do this one. I'm sorry. Just a moment. Okay. Psalm 91. He that dwelleth, sorry for the typos, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge, my fortress, my God. In him will I trust. This is a powerful, it's a beautiful, simple, again, Spirit loves to kiss everything, keeping it simple. This code of protection was created by the prophet Moses as he climbed Mount Sinai to shield him from unknown forces during his ascent. It's become, listen to this, guys, it's become a standard for protection that uses range from the challenges of everyday life to the safety of entire armies preparing for battle. That's a powerful prayer. So, Spirit is recommending that you consider saying it every day to protect yourself from unknown forces. The third conscious mind action is to connect in with the light of God every day and shine your light brightly in the world. Now, for some of us, this is meditation. For others of it, it is just saying that prayer and igniting that divine spark within us and letting it come out and shine through our faces and shine through our actions and through our words. You know, I'm sure some of us have been to the grocery store. It's packed and crowded. It's at the end of the day. The people working the registers have been there for 8 hours and they're just doing this and this because they've had enough of people complaining about this, that, and the other, especially the price of groceries. And so I always love to look for something that I can compliment that person about. And when it's my turn, I smile one of my best smiles. I let the light shine from my face. I say, "Hi, how are you today?" And I compliment them, whether it's their pink hair or their fingernails or their smile, or I just thank them for, "I'm sure you've had a long day. Thank you for being here and helping us." And I know that those of you who do that, you see the shift in their energy. And spirit is like, connect with your light of God each day with that divine spark and let it shine brightly in the world. And if you can't think of anything any ways to let it shine brightly, then ask spirit to show you and give you opportunities to do so. Um, amp the next one, amp up your spiritual discipline. How many of us, me included, whatever we do, whether that is prayer or meditation or tapping or breath work or affirmations, or I am statements, all the different ways that we practice our spirituality in our daily lives, we're not really consistent with it. And I'll be one of the first to admit it. I'm not. But after putting this together, I am devout because we are being blessed with all this incredible energy. It's like, I'm not going to miss this opportunity. I'm going to do it. So it's up to us to, but Spirit's recommending you get really disciplined and do things every single day. For example, Spirit wants me to say the reason why is because we are being asked to be in a higher level of vibration. And this higher vibration needs a consistently strong and protective container. That's this body vessel and your conscious, subconscious mind and all your bodies. And consistent spiritual practice every day is going to help build a very strong vessel. So spirits like in the consistent meditation, like we said, breath work, prayer. Oh, gratitude. I forgot to mention that. And acceptance and drawing boundaries and honoring them with ourselves and others. Isn't that interesting that spirit brought that forth as, hey, that is part of a spiritual discipline, a spiritual practice is drawing healthy boundaries. And also invoke and amp up your faith and trust. Whatever your dreams are, whatever it is that you want to manifest in 2024, remember, we ask for it, we vision it, we feel it, and then we let go and we let God and we have faith and we trust. And most of us have been on the earth in this incarnation long enough to know that a lot of times the way our dreams come forth or our manifestations come forth, they come forth in ways that are not exactly like we wanted, but they're better. They're better than we could have ever dreamed of. So remember that. Have faith, trust, let go and let God, and expect your manifestations to come in a way that are different but better than you could have ever imagined. If we stay tied to a certain way they must manifest, those opportunities for manifestations just go flying by us because we can't see them, because it doesn't fit our idea of what it's supposed to be. Number 5, honor your body. Again, this is the vessel that we're living in. So maybe you want to get more massages or Reiki, or there's any number of different things that we can do specifically for our body and its energy, even eating healthier foods. You know, I'm not going to get into that because into the specifics of that. Trust your inner guidance. What is it that you specifically need to do to have to honor your body? And also, number 6, purposefully reduce your stress load. I'm gonna take a moment and be proud of myself and give myself a hug because as I was Spirit was giving me all this download and I was preparing for it, and I had a really busy week last week and was exhausted. And one of the things I love to do during the holidays is have friends over and break bread and drink wine and just have wonderful conversations. Well, it came around Saturday. I was expecting people over and I was absolutely exhausted. And I usually really enjoy cooking for people and serving people, but I just didn't have it within me. And my partner, God bless him, he said, let's just order pizza from Picasso's. They'll do fine. Don't worry about it. And didn't I didn't wrestle with that. I went, that's a great idea because God just downloaded me this morning. Keep your stress at a minimum. So we did that. And I was very happy about that. So take a look. I know we're all busy during the holidays. What are some things that are maybe even self imposed that you can let go of to reduce your stress load? Oh, and they're saying, we don't need to remind you that stress, so even though we don't need to, we're going to remind you that stress is really takes its toll more than anything else on this human body. Number 7, give yourself permission. We're going to state it again to dream your biggest dreams and write them down. Each day, look at your list. Feel what it would feel like when your dreams come true, even just one of them. And then envision it. One of them that came up for me in a session the other day, and for the client brought it forth, and I'm like, oh, how does she know that that's also my dream, which is a home overlooking the beach? And so what I do is this morning, one of the things I did was I sat back and I let myself hear the sounds of the ocean and the birds and children laughing as they play on the beach and watching, feeling the wind come through the windows and caressing my skin as I'm up overlooking the beach. I have no idea where this house is going to be, but that's one of my biggest dreams. So, and I've never let myself dream that big before. And Spirit just keeps saying, dream your biggest dream, dream your biggest dream. So do your best, everybody. Give yourself permission to dream your biggest dreams. Okay, let's see. Do we need to say that? No, I'm going to commune with Spirit here. Is there anything else you want me to address with them? No, is there more to clear? We have a few more minutes to clear. How are we doing on our time? We're doing great on our time. There are some of us in this group who are perfectionists, not me. And some of us who hold that energy, and we need to let that go. Oh, there are those of us in this group who like to be worriers, and we need to release that and replace that with um, forgiveness of self and others and God, and perseverance. Perseverance. Remember, that would go back and connect with consistently amp up and be consistent with your spiritual discipline. We've got some vows. Let's revoke, eliminate, and replace. We've got some vows that are in place that are not letting us receive our biggest dreams or receive the potency of this light that's coming in or receiving the blessing of that. So let's revoke, eliminate, and replace because we want to receive all of that. And there's a lack of value of self. So let's revoke, eliminate, and replace all of those. Oh, very quickly, they want me to do a quick educational moment, which is a lot of people confuse self-value with self-worth or self-confidence, and they're different. Here's the question for you to measure whether or not, or where you are with your self-value. Do you hold yourself lesser than you do others? Do you tend to put others and their needs before your own? And if you do, that's having a low self-value. And you can work on that. But that's another conversation for another time. Okay. Spirit is also asking you to consider becoming the observer through this process, through the rest of the month, even into the year. But being the observer is where you're able to sit back and observe yourself and your life and others in total neutrality. Total neutrality. Because when we become the observer and we are observing all of those things, we can learn so much about ourselves and the world around us. So, for example, so Barbara Joy woke up in the middle of the night last night with a pounding headache, and we gave it to her. And we gave it to her for a reason. And because we had to also let her know that she had certain blocks that were apart from the group that needed to be cleared before she could come forth and do this session with you today. How do we want to put this? So as she was waking up and interacting with this headache and such, and she caught herself thinking thoughts and taking actions that were sabotaging. And she went, oh my God, I'm self-sabotaging. Why am I self-sabotaging? It's because of the blocks that she's carrying, that I'm carrying, that she's carrying, that that are keeping her from tapping into all of this energy too and walking her talk. And so we made that clear. But what are we trying to say? Do your best to try and be the observer so that you can catch when you're sabotaging yourself, when you're limiting yourself. Because then in those moments, you have the power to shift. And if you don't know how to shift from one thing into something much more positive, into more of the carrying the light, at least just put it down. Just put it down. Does that make sense? Okay. We got some past lives. Wow, this is cool. Our group has 26 past lives together and 21 digits of programs. And it's all around more blocks, all the blocks that we mentioned, and then some. So let's go to the first lifetime those programs were created. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you the story that's in the records. So in those past lives, we were all part of a religious order. And the heads of the religious order were narcissists. And so they heavily programmed us to have a lot of limiting beliefs, perceptions, and judgments, especially about ourselves, about our worthiness of connecting with and letting the divine shine through us, and our abilities in our life purpose. They really tamped us down. And oh, the other thing we'd like to say, more past lives, more programs, 13 digits, is that where the perfectionism is concerned, if you miss a day here or there, you don't do, and you're going, oh, I didn't do that perfectly or whatever, be easy on yourself and invoke self-compassion. Okay, didn't do my spiritual work or today, or I forgot to invoke the light and I forgot to shine my light. I got angry, lost my patience. Be gentle with yourself, be loving with yourself, let it go and move on. That's the best way. Don't take out that stick and hit yourself. That's not the light. Self-compassion and self-forgiveness is the light. There's 13 digits of programs. Oh my gosh. Whew. These were not pretty lives, you guys. We were given many religious vows of unworthiness. So let's revoke, eliminate, and replace. And of not allowing ourselves to express our God light. Let's revoke, eliminate, and replace all those vows. Vows to abdicate our personal power. Let's revoke, eliminate, and replace. Got blocks of meditation, revoke, eliminate, and replace. The powers that be in those lives entrenched us. Let me find that energy. Entrenched us in the human miscreations of lack and limitation beliefs. And we have some more vows. To revoke, eliminate, and replace. This is interesting. One of the vows that we just cleared was to follow a tradition, even though it's not in our highest and best interest to do so. Um, and that's part of the entrenching. They wow, they were so very good at getting us to turn away from our light at a very, very young age, and then continuing that forward into adulthood. And so basically, we became lemmings. It was like they um, raised us how to go out and preach the word of God and collect money that we gave to the church, of course, and we were not allowed to take any credit or anything, make any expressions or question anything. Boy, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep entrenchment. Um, wow. Low self-worth, low self-value. Heavy duty unworthiness. We were heavily, this is fascinating, makes so much sense. We were heavily programmed that we were unworthy of God's love. So we're carrying that in our cellular memory and in our deep subconscious. And that's going to keep, that could have kept a lot of us from benefiting from all of this magnificent, the portal, the new moon, the influx of energy. Yeah. Keeping us from dreaming our biggest dreams and then knowing that we're worthy of co-creating and manifesting them. Because somewhere deep inside of us, we're like, oh no, you don't deserve that. You can't do that. You're unworthy of that. Oh my God. Okay. And here comes the shame, because that's part of the energy that they used to control us was shame. So how many programs of shame? 27 digits. Okay. Is there anything more to do or clear or know from those lives? No. Any healing to apply? No. Okay. We have 5 minutes left. Spirit, is there anything more you want to do or clear or no? Take questions. So Spirit's like, if anybody's got a question, we've got a couple minutes, we'll take questions. And while we're waiting for any questions, and by the way, please make your questions about our session today, not about yourself, because we're not going to do that. We're not going to go into individuals. You can always reach out for a session if you have specific individual things you want to talk about. Okay. I have a question, but I can't raise my hand. Okay, Jamie, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody. If this question's too technical for the group, just skip it and go on to the next. But when you clear on the 3 levels of soul and then the other, and then the third part where it's us entangled with that other soul, were these all clearings today, working on those 3 levels that you work on? Or is this working really on just soul level today? When you clear, you know
Not
how-
sure, ask
when
me
you-
this question, ask me that, just a moment. I have a block. There's a block. I gotta clear it. And then I want you to ask the question again, please.
Thank you.
Okay, Jamie, go ahead.
Okay, when we've worked together before, there's always the three areas that come up to clear: the soul, and then the other group, and then the third part is our dance and entanglement with that other group. When you're doing the group clearings like this, are we clearing really kind of specifically on the soul, or we're actually to the point where we're in the three parts of the soul? Does that make sense?
Are you kind of asking who are the clients today?
Yes.
Yes.
We're clearing on all of that, aren't we? Yep, thank you.
Mhm.
Because I had been explaining to Jonathan what your work was, and I wanted to put it in context again to see what the group work was versus our individual sessions. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The difference is that, okay, so obviously, this kind of situation has been with mankind, us hiding our light instead of shining our light and stepping
Yeah.
into it and being it and expressing it, has been with mankind for eons. And so, so basically, we cleared in the today all of the common blocks that we all have.
Right, right.
And then individually, though, is it would require a private session to go into your Akashic records and into your subconscious and find out what are your unique and specific blocks that are outside of this soul.
Thank you. I thought that, yeah, I thought that was it. But again, I still continue to be wowed by that narcissism program that keeps coming up that was like a landmine when we've been working with that, and how it just contributes to the shame. I mean, when you have the 27 levels for all of us here within that one, that's some big work today that's happened for all of us. So I'm just, thank you, Barbara Joy, and thank you everybody, because we're all a part of that, or that wouldn't have come up to be cleared. So thank you.
Okay, so this is yeah, I'm going to do something on suffering and shame, and a few other things. I'll let you know. You'll all get emails about it. So, but yeah, Spirit's been doing this in my ear about doing more of this kind of thing. So anyway, there will be 7 days to integrate. So as those of you who have worked with me before, you know that you experience after a session anywhere from 2 to 4 days where you just have this inner calm and inner peace. And then life starts to come back in and wreak havoc with us again. But also as you are processing over and integrating over the 7 days, do your best to be the observer. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your actions, your choices that you make. You will have aha moments come forward. Don't listen to the recording until the 7 days is up, because then it will go in and shake things up within you that you don't want to have them shaken up yet. Okay? When you listen to this session one more time after the 7 days, you will get more healing that will occur. So our hour is up. Thank you all for joining me. And my peeps are like, thank you so much, because just the fact that you showed up physically and energetically, and those of you who we know have not are going to watch the video because you couldn't make it here in person today, just you coming to this is going to make a difference for not only you, but so many other people. It's going to domino out. So thank you for your time, attention, and your energy. And we're sending you much love. And we're going to end with a prayer. Here we go. Okay. So let's just relax and drop out of our heads into our hearts. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. And so it is. Much love to all of you. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.